0-0 going top 9, and Terry Collins has sent his closer Juris Familia to the mound.
51 saves. I think the one thing that concerns you with Familia is that 31 walks and 77 2/3, a little bit of a high number, and with a Giants team that puts the ball in play against what is a heavy sinking fastball, if he happens to walk a guy with this Met infield, not a lot of range, it could be a ball in play that gets through that could be the difference.
Brandon Crawford leads it off. Eric Campbell stays in the game at first base after batting for James Loney. So Syndergaard went 7, gave up 2 hits, struck out 10. Addison Reed got in and out of trouble in the 8th inning as the Giants left them loaded, and now Familia here in the 9th. Some frayed nerves on both sides of the field right now as Crawford takes low, ball 2. Except for this guy, he's not nervous.
Yeah, fist pump after the line drive right back. Let you know.
To left center field, it's going to get down and get all the way to the wall. And Crawford is on his way to second base with a leadoff double.
I think you would expect to see Pagan put the bunt down. You don't have to be too fine. You've got okay speed out at second, but you don't have a forced situation. You've got some inexperienced guys playing the corner positions. So don't worry about being too fine with dropping this bunt down.
Squares pulls the bat back and he takes ball 1.
Another pitch not called for the Mets at the bottom of the strike zone. Rivera, I think, having a little trouble catching some of these balls, but that clearly, I think, catching the bottom of the strike zone.
Two and 0, the count on Pagan. And there's nobody throwing in the Giants' pen. Madison Bumgarner might be the only starting pitcher in baseball where in this situation nobody would be up in the pen. And granted, the Giants have had issues in the 9th inning. Sergio Romo's become the closer recently. He's 4 for 4 since he got the job back. Bunted, foul. Bumgarner's at 106 pitches heading to the 9th inning, and Bruce Bochy shows no sign of wanting anybody other than Madison Bumgarner on the mound in the bottom of the 9th.
I think Pagan got a little greedy, maybe in a good way there. On a 2-0 count, he kind of turned it like a real good hitter's count and said, all right, I'm going to try and be fine with this and try and bunt for the base hit. That's telling you maybe he's got a lot of trust in his ability to just get it down when the time comes to completely give himself up, which I think you'll see him do here.
Out at second, Crawford, 2-1 the count on Pagan. Squares again, takes it low, ball 3. On deck, Joe Panic. Nobody out, and the Giants threatening here in the top of the 9th.
I still think they'll have the bunt on in this situation, even in this good hitters count. And again, you don't have to be too fine with it. Without a force play at third, too risky.
Foul ball. And it's a full count now on Pagan.
Maybe a little too eager to run out of the box.
They're still in on the corners with a full count on Pagan. Swing and a miss to get him one down. Crawford out at second, one down. And now there is some activity as Sergio Romo, again the former closer for the Giants, who is once again now the closer. Santiago Casilla had a very difficult second half, blew a number of saves. Romo, after Bruce Bochy experimented with a number of different combinations, gave the job back to Romo. He went 4 for 4 closing in the last 2 weeks of the season. Romo starting to throw. And Rivera just did keep that one from going to the backstop.
It's a really tough chance here. That sinking fastball, very difficult to get your body in front of it. Your only chance is to really backhand and hope you can stop it. He's able to get enough glove on this and keep it in front of him. And huge that Crawford can't get to third now with less than 2 outs. But if they're able to retire Panic here, then you're almost certainly in a intentionally walk Gillespie to force the hand of the Giants.
Which is why Romo's up.
Yep.
In case Bumgarner's spot comes up this inning. Out of play, 2-1. You got to believe Bruce Bochy's first choice of pitchers is Bumgarner. But if they get to, say, a 2-on, 2-out situation, no score here. You saw Jared Parker's got a bat. It looks like they would pinch hit for Bumgarner as he tries to stay warm here in the top of the 9th. Romo biding his time a little bit right now. No huge rush. He's got time to get loose if he's needed for the bottom half of the inning. First things first. The 2-1 to Panic. Out of play again. Familia wants to chat. The inning began with Crawford slicing a double to left field. To the left of Cespedes, got all the way to the fence near the 358 mark. Crawford into second with a double. Pagan could not get a bunt down. Had 2 shots at it. Bunted it foul both times and eventually struck out on a 3-2 pitch. And now it's 2-2 on Panic. Hunter Gillespie on deck. Parker looks like he would be behind him if it got that far, if it got to Bumgarner's spot. The set. And the 2-2. And Panic stays alive.
Joe Panic right now represents a lot of what the Giants offense is about. Not a ton of strikeouts. He does have 2 tonight, but he's a contact hitter. And in this 2-strike situation, he wastes a pitch just barely off the end of the bat. But you see how he just slows his bat down. He's not trying to poke this anywhere far. He's just trying to make contact and keep this at bat going.
Again, the 2-2. Up and in with a breaking ball and a full count.
I think the first slider we've seen from Familia there. Not a real good feel for that pitch at all. And now if you're Panic, you can probably pretty much eliminate that, knowing that's not a pitch he's got a real feel for at this point. He's coming with that bread and butter heavy sinker. Look for something on the plate.
(3-2) down and away. He walked him. 2 men on with a 1 out. Bumgarner may or may not go back out to pitch. Depends what happens here with Gillespie. And again, Gillespie filling in for the injured Eduardo Nunez, who's out with a hamstring injury. They didn't feel comfortable putting him on the roster, just not close enough to 100%. But Gillespie's had some big moments, had a big hit over the weekend, a great catch over the weekend, and now trying to bring home the first run of the night if he can deliver against Familia.
And if you're Gillespie, you probably saw the one slider he's thrown was that one to Panic that didn't really have much feel at all. Pretty much eliminate that till he proves he can throw it. You're looking something hard down and out over the plate.
Strike one.
Real nice execution by Familia there. He's been down away. You know Gillespie's looking on the plate. He started that sinker perhaps off the plate in, freezing Gillespie, running it over the plate to jump out ahead.
Another backhanded stop by Rivera.
It's two now. Rivera's had a little bit of a hard time framing pitches, especially down in the zone, but a couple of big stops this inning to keep that go-ahead run out there at second base with two good backhand stops on sinkers.
1-1. And a fly ball well hit right field. Bruce is back, turns, and it's gone. Connor Gillespie with a 3-run homer in the top of the ninth to give the Giants the lead. And Bumgarner hits. Now that they have a 3-run lead, Bumgarner gets a chance to hit because they want him to pitch the bottom of the ninth as he sends a fly ball to deep left for the second out of the inning. But suddenly the Giants are 3 outs away from advancing to the division series after the dramatic home run from Connor Gillespie. Gillespie, somewhat of an unlikely hero, 29 years of age, back with the Giants this year after splitting last year with the Angels and White Sox. And again, only came into prominence. His role only really grew recently after the injury to Nunez. What a moment for him. And this entire ballpark is in stunned silence right now as Span takes a strike. Bumgarner will come back out. Cespedes, Granderson, and Rivera, 3, 4, 5 will come up for the Mets. But this great run at the end of the season, 27-13 in their last 40, defying the odds and all the injuries they had, and now suddenly they're hanging by their fingernails here with one of the game's great all-time postseason pitchers getting ready to head back out to the mound. Fly ball to left. Long run, Cespedes out of play.
You know, I think the Mets or the Giants were quite certain that Gillespie could handle himself offensively from the left side against right-handed pitching. I think the question was how he was going to be able to handle third base, and they felt like the final week of the season he was playing incredibly well defensively. That is big a reason as any that he is in the lineup. But another big time at bat by Connor Gillespie.
Pulled foul. Bumgarner will enter the bottom of the ninth at 106 pitches. And for him, that's a walk on the beach. I mean, considering some of the things we've seen him do in the postseason back in 2014, it's a cool night. He has pitched extremely well. And suddenly he and the Giants are 3 outs away from getting on a plane and heading to Chicago. Again, the 1-2. And a fly ball to left field. Cespedes there. And that's the inning. But Connor Gillespie steps into the spotlight for the Giants and sends a 3-run home run out of this ballpark to right. And the Giants are 3 outs away from advancing to the division series.